In this video, I'm going to talk about the synchronization objects which are available in Java Concurrent API. And those objects can be used to synchronize among any type of threads that you might have in your application. Now, why do you need synchronization? So imagine if you are building a ticket booking type of application. You do not want multiple threads trying to access, say, a seat resource at any given point in time and block that particular seat based on multiple user requests that your threads might be solving at any given point in time. Doing something like that without synchronization could lead to inconsistent state of your shared resources. It will also lead to be a very bad experience to customers. Imagine in this case, some customers might get this message on the application saying that the seat has been booked to them. However, in the back end, that seat might have been booked to someone else because you are not doing proper locking and synchronization on the shared resource. So that is why you need to spend time if you have a multi-threading application which is updating shared resources. And that is where these synchronization objects that I'm going to talk in a series of demos that I will do are going to be very helpful. So I'm going to talk about semaphore, I'm going to talk about countdown latch, cyclic barrier, exchanger and phaser. I will create smaller videos so that you can consume these concepts very easily. Now the concepts are going to be demonstrated with basic examples, but the concept can be applied to a very large scale application easily. So let's start. The first up synchronization object is semaphore. This is a very simple one, and you might have seen the semaphore used in train signaling, where you signal for any incoming train if there is only one track, and you would give a signal to one train to come, and then when that train has gone, you would give signal to the other one. So that's the whole concept about semaphore. Now in this case, what I'm doing, I'm declaring a semaphore with permit as 1. That means if one thread has acquired the semaphore, no other thread will be able to get into whatever code that you might have in the thread execution until and unless you release the semaphore. So that is how you declare the semaphore. And I have a thread runner class which implements runnable and have run method, and I have overloaded constructors because I want to use the same class for multiple demos. In this case, I'm calling the thread runner with semaphore constructor. What I'm doing here is that I have one thread 1, a thread with the name thread 1 and thread with the name thread 2, and I'm doing a start on that. If we look into the thread runner code, what it does here is that for if the demo is of type semaphore, which it is, what I'm doing here is that the first instruction is I'm trying to acquire the semaphore. So when thread 1 reaches here, it will try to acquire, and it will be able to acquire it because semaphore will have that permit available to be acquired by any thread. So once it is acquired, the thread 1 will execute all bunch of instructions. Now in the meantime, the thread 2 will come here and will have to wait for the semaphore to get released, and that will happen when thread 1 has reached to this instruction. As soon as thread 1 releases the semaphore, the thread 2 will be able to perform the instructions from here to here. So that is the basic concept of semaphore. Let me just run this program. But before I run it, you would see statements like thread 1 has acquired semaphore, and then you will see these the print lines from thread 1. The thread 1 is updating the shared string. Once it will update it twice, it will update it thrice, and then it will do a release. And post that, you will see the same set of things for thread 2. So that's the output that you will see with thread synchronization. So that was the first statement. Thread 1 has acquired semaphore, and then it does those instructions 4 times, and then thread 2, it does that instructions, that for loop 4 times. Now if you hadn't had this semaphore, you could have all jumbled up here, and the shared resource, in this case shared string, could have been messed up. So that's the concept of semaphore. In my next video, I'm going to talk about countdown latch.